Oh, fuck. Fuck this company. Fuck WWE. And fuck this wasted out Extreme Rules shit. I hope next year Extreme Rules does not exist on the pay-per-view calendar for WWE next year. This was the most watered down waste of a pay-per-view. This wasn't even a fucking watered down show. This was just, it wasn't even part of the gimmick of the pay-per-view. There was one match that was called Extreme Rules and had anything goes in the show. In that one match. That was the Universal Championship match. The rest of the show was terrible. It was fucking bloody awful. Simply put, because it was called Extreme Rules. All the matches should have been some kind of stipulation where it was extreme. Tables matches, ladder matches, steel cage matches, last man standing, stretcher matches, you know, those type of matches that used to exist when we had Extreme Rules. Extreme Rules pay-per-view was supposed to be honoring the one-night stand for ECW. Could you imagine ECW putting on a all-extreme pay-per-view show, which was pretty much all the time, and didn't do that? Could you imagine that? Because that's what we got here tonight. One fucking match that was an Extreme Rules match, and the rest of the card felt flat. Yeah, there was some good matches, I'm not going to deny that. The matches were good, some of them. Some of them were fucking boring as hell and didn't belong on the card. This was shit. Bloody, awful, fucking shit. I don't know who the fuck in their right mind could have enjoyed this show. If I paid money to go sit in that audience and watch this show, I would have been on the floor laughing and then walking away pissed off, giving the middle finger to the, down towards the ring, saying, basically, fuck you. This was shit. 3 hours of my fucking life I ain't gonna get back. I've been thinking long and hard, folks. I may rebrand the name of this show. I may change it from World of Wrestling to World of Sports. Because I'll be quite frank with you, UFC 266 was 10 times better than this piece of shit show. That show was entertaining as fuck, and it was real. It was legit. This show, I understand pro wrestling is fixed. But my God, man, if you're gonna put on a show, put on a fucking show that entertains. This show did not entertain me one fucking bit. Not even the main event with Roman Reigns. They had Roman Reigns look weak as shit against Finn Balor. Finn Balor ends up looking like he's going to win. He's got this resurrection of his demon character while he's laying flat on his stomach. And his music hits, and he convulses like he's having a seizure, and then all of a sudden, he finally wakes up and comes alive. While his music's playing, he's dominating Roman Reigns, and as he's on the top to do the coup de grace, he ends up having the turnbuckle collapse on him. He falls down. It looked like he injured his knee, possibly, because the part that goes right to the kneecap, there was like a deep indentation which didn't look normal, and he looked like he was hurting. I don't know if that was real or he was just selling it. And then he just gets speared and he gets the 1, 2, 3. He also had to have, Roman Reigns had to have the Usos come out to give him somewhat of advantage to possibly end up losing the title. If they wouldn't have came out, he would have lost. Based on the way I saw things in that match. This was a terrible fucking show. Was there good wrestling? Yeah, I won't deny them of that. There was some good wrestling. But bottom line, folks, the build, the deep... If you look deep in depth on this entire thing, it was not a good show. Now, if you want to just look on the surface, and you want to say, based on wrestling alone, was this a good show? Yeah, this was an okay show for wrestling purposes. But when you're talking about ending of matches, the actual fucking purpose of the name of the pay-per-view is called Extreme Rules. None of that lived up to the pay-per-view one bit. I would have to say last year's Extreme Rules, when they were in the fucking Performance Center, was better than this. And we had no championship match for the main event. It was Bray Wyatt as the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt versus Braun Strowman in the main event in this cinematic matchup. You also had Seth Rollins gouging fucking Rey Mysterio's eye out of his socket, which was god-awfully stupid. But hey, there's one key thing to all of this. You want to know what the key thing is? That was an Extreme Rules show last year. I don't know what the fuck this was. This was fucking trash. This was worse than last year's. That's hard to top if you want to get technical. Because last year's was fucking terrible. This one was even worse. I mean, it's like WWE, in modern WWE, the whole concept is try to be worse than the year before, and the year before that, and so on and so forth. And just keep being worse every single year. Or year after that, and year after that, excuse me. But you get my point. Just make sure that you're crappy every single year. Each year, get worse. Don't get better, get worse. How in the fuck did they even fill that arena with people? Who the hell would want to pay a ticket to see this piece of shit? There was no Extreme Rules on this card except for the main event. And yet people paid money to go see this piece of crap. There's some fucking dumb people or people that do not have a life. I have to say, they really don't have a life. Anyway, let me get into this entire match card and cut this video short, because there ain't much to say here. You guys all know what I've been saying for months now with these rants. And this is basically what it is. It's a fucking rant video, as well as a review. I mean, there's nothing much to talk about here. I mean, like, the first match on the main card, we had a 6-man tag team match that we could have saw on a Monday Night Raw episode. Why the WWE Championship was not defended was beyond me, except for the fact that later on in the show, they decided to say that Big E will be defending the WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley to kickstart Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. And to top it all off, Big E defeated Bobby Lashley. Big E defeated Bobby Lashley in the 6-man tag team match. Big E didn't defeat AJ Styles or almost. He defeated Bobby Lashley, the person who's going to be his opponent for the WWE Championship. So, continue the burial, WWE. Get Undertaker out there with that shovel and start burying this motherfucker. He's done. He's going to be losing to Big E. He's moving on to Goldberg at Crown Jewel. Goldberg will beat him in less than a minute, and that'll be that. And we can say goodbye to Bobby Lashley. Maybe he'll actually grow a brain and fucking leave this company and go somewhere else. Maybe back to Impact Wrestling. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. But personally, this is total disrespect to Bobby Lashley and what he has done as the WWE Champion. They could have done him a whole lot of justice just making him lose the title at SummerSlam to Big E in a normal cash-in where the match was booked and scheduled because Big E said, I challenge you at SummerSlam with because I'm the briefcase holder, I challenge you for the WWE Championship, and that's that. And make Bobby Lashley lose the fucking championship. That's all they had to do. Simple as that. It would have made sense. It would have happened immediately after what happened with Kofi Kingston at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. It would have all made perfect sense because it immediately would have happened after the incident with Kofi Kingston. There you go. Keep the momentum going. Don't stop the momentum and then reiterate back to that moment that happened 2 months prior of when he cashed in the championship. That is fucking retarded. He cashes in September, and the situation with Kofi Kingston and Bobby Lashley happened in July. Why are we going to that now when we should have went to that in August? For Goldberg? For fucking Bill Goldberg? Why? Like, who gives a shit? Goldberg. Oh yeah, Goldberg did a lot for fucking SummerSlam's card. Give me a fucking break, man. What a fucking joke. But yeah, Big E wins the match with the New Day against almost AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley, with some miscommunication and bad teamwork between AJ Styles and Bobby Lashley. So later on, it was announced that Bobby Lashley will be facing Big E for the WWE Championship to kick off Monday Night Raw, which he'll lose, and then lose to Goldberg. Thank you, Vince McMahon. Continue to bury your roster. You're doing a terrific job. Now, if we can only bury you 6 feet deep, the world would be a better place, and so would the WWE. Let it be in better hands. And no, I'm not talking about Allstate. Anyway. Then again, maybe Allstate would actually do a better job booking this fucking show than Vince McMahon himself. Because I don't know who in a fucking right mind actually thinks this is good booking. But this is the worst booking I have ever seen by a wrestling promotion in my life. The worst. The fucking worst. I honestly swear, I think there's been bookers out there that are terrible, but Vince McMahon has proven he can go from being the absolute best promoter to the absolute worst of all time. How you can go from the top of the game to being the absolute worst promoter of all time in my book is beyond me, and that's pretty fucking hard to do. But man, he's achieved that. What a fucking loser. Anyway, second match on the card, I believe was... Holy shit, I forgot the fucking card. Oh yeah, the Smackdown tag team titles. I almost forgot what the fuck the card was. I don't have anything in front of me. I don't have the computer to give me the entire match card. I just went based off of memory. And yes, Smackdown tag team titles was the second match on the card between the Usos and the Street Profits. Excellent match. Great work by these two teams. These four men did an excellent job working together as usual. Nothing surprising here. This is a 4 out of 5 stars. Probably the match of the fucking night. Hands down. No doubt about it. Next match on the card was Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. This match was an average match with a really, really terrible ending. And I mean fucking terrible ending. That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. But what does Vince McMahon and WWE ever do that makes any sense? And then we have good old Bruce Pritchard sucking on the dick and balls of Vince McMahon going, "Yes, sir, I want to suck on your balls. Please, give me your cock." I mean, that's what Bruce Pritchard does. I mean, like, I love you. I'll do whatever you want, good old Vincey. You know? I mean, come on, man. This fucking guy, Bruce Pritchard's the head of creative, and he ain't fucking bouncing shit back and forth with Vince McMahon, not voicing his opinion, not trying to do anything to better the company, and yet, at the end of the day, we all know deep down that ain't gonna change a fucking thing. But if there's more and more people that are taking a walk and don't want to work with Vince McMahon, isn't that going to eventually make the WWE crumble? Or Vince McMahon's going to have no choice but to give in to people's creative ideas and try them out so that they can become more successful? I mean, let's get real here. What a fucking joke. You got people saying yes to this guy, trying to tell him what he wants to hear so that he goes home happy while he destroys what his fucking father built. What a jackass. But yeah, Charlotte Flair retains the championship, beats her with natural selection instead of the figure eight, pins her 1, 2, 3, and then goes about trying to tear apart a fucking Lily doll that nobody gave a fuck about because they were saying, "Thank you, Lily," as a way of saying goodbye to Lily. And thank you, God. Goodbye to Lily. I guess apparently Lily didn't do so well in the fucking merchandise sales for good old Alexa Bliss. I guess Alexa Bliss is going to have to go back to the drawing board and become a fucking loser again because that's all she's become. And they took the Fiend character and turned that into complete and utter shit. Thank you, Vince, for another solid job at creative booking, you fucking retard. You want to create characters? You had a character, and you killed it, you fucking dummy. That's all you fucking do, because you're not really in for the long haul. You're not in to make business. You're not in to do anything but make a humongous profit off of this fucking company, drain it for everything it's worth, and then sell it off to some fucking douchebag who probably won't do jack shit with it and get a shitload of fucking money on top of it so you can retire in your big ass fucking mansion and tell everyone to go fuck themselves. You fucking piece of shit. What a jerk off. Oh, am I in a fucking angry mood tonight or what? I was having a good old time watching some football, and I'm sitting here watching 3 hours of fucking Monday night. Basically, it should be Monday Night Raw. That's what it fucking felt like anyway. But I'm sitting through 3 hours of my Sunday night missing a great football game between Green Bay and the 49ers, which has been a close game pretty much overall throughout most of it. And I'm sitting here, and I'm fucking watching 3 hours of shitty-ass wrestling. For what? For what? This was a fucking waste of my time. Charlotte Flair ends up winning the match, like I said, and tears up the doll, and that's that. She goes apeshit Alexa Bliss. After she loses, she jumps all over Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair manages to run away, and Alexa Bliss is in the ring crying her eyes out, hysterically, going absolutely insane like a teenage, like a fucking adolescent child. I mean, what the fuck am I watching? This is fucking retarded. And folks, this is a legit rant. This isn't me trying to have fun and just trying to get you guys entertained. I hope I'm entertaining you anyway, but bottom line, this was not fun to watch. This was a waste of my fucking time. I had better things to do than watch this crap. This is a fucking waste. Alright, so after that match, we had the Triple Threat U.S. Championship match. Good match, but the ending was absolutely fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. It was like a fucking ending that you could see on Monday Night Raw. I give it a 2.5 out of 5 fucking stars, man. This was terrible. Damian Priest ends up rolling up schoolboy pin on Sheamus, and he can't kick out. We had to at least get one match with a roll-up pin. Couldn't we have seen every match with a finishing maneuver? Like, what the fuck is this shit? Oh, gosh. I really don't, I don't know, man. I really, I don't know. It's crazy. This whole thing is fucking crazy. So anyway, going back to the other matches, I may not gave them ratings. The 6-man tag team match, 2 out of 5 stars. The Smackdown tag team titles, 4 out of 5 stars. The Raw Women's Championship match, 3 out of 5 stars. And as I already stated, the U.S. Championship, 2.5 out of 5 stars. So, that's pretty much that right there in a nutshell. Now we go to the SmackDown Women's Championship with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. This match was long. This match was entertaining somewhat. But once again, like a movie, every movie, doesn't matter how good the beginning or the middle is, the ending is the most important part to any movie, because that's how you end it to give your audience a climax ending to the actual product that you're delivering. And what do they do here to end this wonderful match that looked pretty good and should have been the SummerSlam match that we got instead of the 26-second event that we got with those two? We get a disqualification. We get a fucking disqualification with Sasha Banks interfering in the match. So, folks, if you think for a solitary second WWE is looking to build new stars, Bianca Belair is proof that they're not trying to build her at all. She was just holding on to the title so she could lose it to an already established superstar like Becky Lynch, who could have been on Monday Night Raw. We could have seen Becky Lynch playing a face against Charlotte Flair over the Raw Women's Championship instead of watching Alexa Bliss pretend she's the Supernatural and can do all kinds of crazy shit with a fucking dumb doll, which, by the way, didn't do a continental shit in this match, just sat there and did nothing, which is fine by me, because I don't like the hocus pocus bullshit. I think it's retarded. And the ending of this pay-per-view is definitely proof of that it's retarded. God almighty. So yeah, Sasha Banks interferes in the match. I'm going to be generous. I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I would give it 4, but they had to have the type of finish that they had. So, there you go. Sasha Banks beats the shit out of both Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair. And then you think that they're trying to make Becky Lynch as a heel. Ultimately, she doesn't look like a heel at all. She's being cheered by half of the audience. She had Sasha Banks screw her out of the match, beats the shit out of her, turns her back on her too. And the only real heel out of all this is Sasha Banks. She's the real heel. Becky Lynch is not anything like a heel at all. Nothing. The whole thing was a fucking waste of everybody's time. The length of the time of the match that Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch got should have been the same way on SummerSlam. That's the kind of match we should have got with a different ending. With an actual ending with whoever they chose to win. If they went with Becky Lynch, I would have been okay with that. Because at least we got a fucking real legit match. She just went in there, hit her in the fucking face, and did a Uranagi and got the pinfall in 26 seconds. The fuck's up with that? Then we get the match that we should have gotten at SummerSlam with a shitbag ending as well, with a disqualification. I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. So, that's that. Main event, 3 out of 5 stars. This was average at best. Same old shit. Roman Reigns, he's going in there. He's looking more and more each and every title defense, looking like he's getting close to losing the title. Folks, do not be shocked if Brock Lesnar gets that Universal Championship. If they could do it to The Undertaker's undefeated streak for 20 plus years, don't you think they could do it to Roman Reigns' run as the WWE Universal Champion in front of a very large audience in fucking Saudi Arabia? Come on, folks. Open your brains, open your eyes, and realize this man has no intentions of building any real stars. And he doesn't. The ending of the match, I'll reiterate this. He's on the top rope getting ready to hit his finishing coup de grace. And all of a sudden the turnbuckle caves in on him. He falls down on his knee. Looked like maybe he injured his knee possibly, or it was a sale. Trying to sell you on the fact that he was injured. And he gets speared fucking hard as shit. And Roman gets the pin. He also speared him through a fucking barricade at one point before all this happened. And that was that. That is your fucking show. In a nutshell. With some tables, some chairs, and kendo sticks. That is your Extreme Rules pay-per-view, folks. The main event was extreme. Not so much. With a shitty-ass ending that explains no reason at all why the turnbuckle caved in on him, outside of maybe saying Paul Heyman went ahead and tried to loosen the turnbuckle while Finn Balor was resurrecting himself with his music. I mean, come on. This is a fucking joke. Really, it's a fucking joke. And if you don't think that Brock Lesnar could walk away as Universal Champion with Paul Heyman turning on him, you got another thing coming. Don't be surprised. Don't be foolish. Do I think there's a possibility Roman Reigns will stay champion after Crown Jewel? Yeah, there's probably a good possibility that might happen. But don't disregard the idea of Vince McMahon doing something that I just said. Because clearly Roman Reigns keeps coming close and closer and closer to losing that Universal Championship with each and every opponent he faces. This was the same situation with The Undertaker. With every WrestleMania, he kept coming closer of losing that match. Eventually, it led to Brock Lesnar doing that in 2014. Who the fuck wouldn't think this could happen here? Especially if they come out with a storyline that Paul Heyman loosened the turnbuckle to purposely screw Finn Balor out of the match so he can't win. Then Paul Heyman says, you know what? This guy ain't as good as I thought he was. I ought to go back with the Beast and fuck him over. Paul Heyman has done this before in previous storylines. Look back in 2002 Extreme Rules. 2002 Survivor Series with Brock Lesnar versus The Big Show. This happened. They could reiterate right back to that same type of mentality and have Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns and cost him a year-long title reign that could have kept going and got cut off because of the same man he thought was going to be his advocate, his manager, his consultant, his guy that would, be with him to the end of his career. There's a possibility that could happen. Now, will it? I don't know. The only time will tell once this match takes place on October 21st. Not that it really matters. If Roman Reigns loses that title to Lesnar at Crown Jewel, I am done. I will officially be done with this company. There will not be a single review on this channel ever again about a WWE show, a WWE pay-per-view. It won't fucking matter. I will never watch WWE again. I will not review anything on WWE here. Will I watch their old episodes from back in the day when wrestling was great? Yes, I will admit that. I will watch those. But anything that happens in modern day WWE ain't fucking being covered on this channel ever again. It will not happen. But anyway, guys, that's all I have to say on this wonderful piece of shit pay-per-view that wasted 3 hours of my life. I hope you enjoyed the review. I know this was only about 30 minutes. A lot less time wasted on your life having to sit through this review that I totally shit on, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope I didn't waste your time either for 30 minutes. Hope you actually was entertained. But anyway, guys, at this time, hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.